Today we're going to be talking about how to add a product to your Shopify store. So we've got our lovely little demo store here, and let's take a look at the back end. So I've already clicked on products here, and you can see that I've added a couple base products just so that we have something to work with. But we're going to be going through the full steps on how to add a new product. Now before I start that, I actually am going to show you, going to collections here, that I've already made a collection titled Ladies, which is a manual collection. Now, I'm mentioning this now because even though it doesn't make sense now, it'll make sense later on in the video. And when you want to add a product, you actually have to create the collection before you can add the product. So it's chicken versus the egg, but in this case the chicken wins, and you need the chicken first and then you can add the egg. So I'm going to be adding a product here. Just click there. Great. So let's say that we want to sell a green dress for all those lovely ladies out there. And let's say this dress will make you look amazing. Awesome. Okay. So let's click save on that. Great. So now that I've added a title and description, let's see what that looks like on the front end of Shopify. Perfect. So we've got a title and we've got a description here. So let's keep going. So I want to add a picture to show what this lovely green dress actually looks like. So I'm going to click on Add File. I'm going to select green dress here and open that up. Great. Let's take a look at the front end of things. Perfect. So now we've got a picture of what that dress actually looks like. Okay, we're on a roll. Let's keep going. So let's say this lovely green dress costs, well, let's say $150. So I'm going to click save on that. Then we're going to go refresh that page again. And you can see that the cost here updated to 150, just like we put in the back end. Now, a lot of people ask, what the heck is Comparative Price? This is typically used when something is on sale. So the price is always going to be what you charge the customer. The Comparative Price is like saying, well, we used to sell it for this amount, now we actually sell it at this amount. So in this case, let's say that this green dress used to cost $200. So I'm going to save that. Now if we go to the front end of our store, refresh that, you can see that now this is on sale. You can see that it used to cost $200, it actually costs $150 now. This is an awesome sale for this amazing green dress here. Really at this point, all we'd have to do would be to add it to a collection. So like I was showing you before, we already have a ladies collection that exists. So we want to add it to that ladies collection so that it has a place to go. And I'm going to click save at this point. Go back to the front end. There we go. So it's now part of that collection. And really, at this point, just in terms of a basic product, aside from adding, let's put a quantity in there so that people can actually buy this. So let's say that there's 50 of them. There we go. So now when I refresh this, great, people can actually add it to their cart. At this point, if you're just adding a basic product, that's all you need to do. That is the bare minimum of what you need to do to add a new product to your store. We're going to go a little bit more in depth. We're going to go through the entirety of what you can do when you're adding a product. So I'm going to go down here. The cost per item. This is for you. Your customers will never see this, and it's just to help you figure out how much you're actually getting from your product. So how much it costs you to actually obtain or manufacture this. Let's say that this costs $56.45 to make. So it'll show your margin, your profit, And this is really important for your reports as well as for your taxes at the end of the year. Shopify is actually pretty good at setting everything up for your taxes so that it takes care of a lot of the bookkeeping for you. But to do that, it needs this sort of information. So yes, we do want to charge taxes on this product. Let's go down to inventory. So if you have or you wish to use SKU numbers for your products, you can just type those in there, as well as barcodes. So this is typically more for brick and mortar stores, actual physical stores, but you can add barcodes there if they're provided by the supplier or whatever makes sense for you. I'm going to leave this blank because I'm just going to be selling this on my online store. So yes, I do want to keep track of quantity. Sometimes people ask, why is there this option to continue selling when out of stock? This is typically used if you are using a drop shipper. So I've got a manufacturer who produces this green dress for me. They ship directly to the customer. I'm going to assume that they have an infinite amount of stock of this green dress. So if that were the case, I would click that, and even if we're out of stock, it would keep selling. So before, just so that we could make our basic green dress here, I just put in a quantity of 50, just so that you could actually go to the store and actually add it to the cart or just simply go directly to the checkout. But I mean, you can set it to obviously whatever you actually have in stock. So let's keep going down here. Let's go to shipping. So yes, this is a physical product, and it does have a weight. Let's say it weighs half a kilogram. So you can use whichever means of measurement that you'd like. You can do pounds, ounces, kilograms, and grams. I'm going to leave it as kilograms for now because why not? But you use whatever is most comfortable for you, as this is going to be for the shipping of things and not for your customer end of things. So for customs information, this is exceptionally useful when you want to sell your products across borders. So just for testing sake, let's say that this lovely green dress is sold in the lovely country of Canada, and let's say we're located in Ontario. So we've selected that. Then we have to look up an HS or harmonized system code to help things get past the border. So Shopify will actually look things up for you, but for some reason you often have to type in what the product is, click away from the box, then click back into it, and then it usually pops up with the different options. So let's say that this is made of synthetic fibers, it's not knitted or crocheted. So I'm going to click on that one there. Boom, we now have an HS code. It'll help cross borders a lot faster there. I'm just going to click save because it is always good to click save. If you accidentally close the window or something, all your progress will be lost, I should say. So then we come to variants. So variants are different options for the same product. So in this case, we definitely want to put down different sizes. So let's say this comes in a size 8, a size 10, and a size 12. Now, as I enter those different options in at the top here, Shopify will start to produce the different variants here, so size 8, 10, and 12. They're all going to be the same price by default, but you'll notice that only the first variant actually has the quantity that we entered above. So what we want to do to make sure that we can actually sell these other sizes is we're going to go and add some of those in the 10 and some of them in the 12. Another thing that you should notice is that as we add variants, Shopify is automatically going to add SKU numbers for those variants. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe our initial SKU number was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you'll see that as additional variants are added, it will simply increase the number at the end by 1. So you might have to tailor this based on what your product is, or you might want to just let Shopify do it automatically for you. Now, there are other variants that you can add. You can add more than one variant. So for example, let's say this came in different colors. You could also say it's in different materials, different styles, different title, that sort of thing. In this case, for simplicity's sake, let's just say it came in different colors, even though it's a green dress, so green, blue. Sure. So as I've added that second option there, Shopify is going to populate, okay, sizing green, sizing blue, etc., all the way down. And you can see that it's keeping up with the SKU numbers there as well. So because this is a green dress, it's not a blue dress, I'm actually going to remove those options there because I don't need them. I'm going to click that save button to make sure I don't lose any of my work. So finally, the last part of the center column here is your website SEO, which is one of the most important things that you have to do for your products. So first off, what is SEO? SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. And basically it means how well your product is categorized by Google, and this will help you get the correct type of traffic to your store. A lot of stores get traffic, but they don't necessarily get the right kind of traffic. They don't get customers that are actually looking for their products. This ensures that the right customers are getting funneled to your store. So let's get into it here. So click on Edit Website SEO, and here we go. So we have the title, which is the same title that we had above, as well as the same description that we had above. So what's important with SEO? There are three things. 1, keywords. 2, length. And 3, comprehension. So let me get into this a little bit. So first of all, keywords are what you would search to try and find this particular product online. So what would you enter? So there are a number of different things that we can put in here, and I'll go into that in a second, but let's take a look at what the second thing is, and that is length. You want to try and keep your SEO description, so this part here, underneath 100 characters. You can use up to 320, but you want to ensure that the most important stuff is right at the start. After 100 characters, Google starts to put less emphasis on what you write next. So the first 100 characters, absolutely crucial. Finally, the third thing is comprehension. And that means that this has to make sense to a human being. I mean, if you were to search your product up on Google or this product up on Google, this is exactly what you would see. So sometimes people decide to go into the description and be like, keyword, 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 and it makes no sense to the person. You know, like dress, summer, fashion, etc. That sort of thing. So here we go. I've updated the description for this product. So this women's green dress is produced fair trade from non-synthetic cloth, a high fashion look for any modern woman. So there's a number of keywords in here. Woman's green dress, fair trade, non-synthetic, high fashion, modern woman. Those are great keywords, and that's the type of audience that I'm looking to acquire for this particular product. You notice that we did go just a little bit over the 100 character mark, but it's not bad. So now if we were to search this on Google, this is what we'd find here. So we have our keywords, we have our length, and we have our comprehension. Makes sense to the person, makes sense to Google, and you got it compact. This is key. This is what will drive the correct traffic to your product. Make sure you check this on all the products that you add to your store. Now let's go over to the right side here because there's some interesting things you can do here. So on my sales channel, I have an online store, and I also have a point of sale for my brick and mortar store. Let's say for this example that I only want to sell it on my online store. I don't have anything in stock in my physical store, so I'm going to unselect that. There we go. So it's only going to be sold on my online store. Next, what I can do is say what kind of product it is. Now, I already have dresses, so I'm going to click on that. But let's say we want to add something different. Let's say it's evening wear. So you can see that I can add that as a new product type. So that's lovely. Then we can go down to vendor. Currently that is the training store, but if I wanted to, I could change that to something else. So let's say drop shipper, and I can add that as a new vendor. Now, the reason why I've been so ridiculous about adding different product types and different vendors is because you cannot do the same for collections. The collection already has to exist. I can't just type in evening wear and make a new collection that way. It does not work. You have to first go to your collections and create the collection there. Okay, last but not least, you can add what are called tags to your product. You don't have to add tags, but it's just different descriptors of what your product is. So this is a dress. It's for ladies. So you can see as I do that, they'll pop up there. And I can add whatever I want. So let's say that it is evening wear. And as I press enter, that shows up there. Product tags are useful if you want to create automated collections. Sometimes they do reflect on the front side of your store, but it really depends on what theme you're using. So you don't have to use this, but it can be useful and it can save you some time in the future. So now I've done all that, I'm going to click save. Let's go to the front end of the store. So I'm just going to refresh that. Great. So the only thing that has changed since we saved it before when we did the bare minimum is that we now have the different variant options here, the 8, the 10, and the 12. So everything else that we did, all of this is for our back end, for us to better get a handle on what we're doing and take control of our product. So now that I've got this in different sizes, let's say I want to do order size 10. I can now add that to my cart, which will go right there. So that's it. That's all you can really do with the product. There can be some more advanced options with variants and things like that, but overall, that's basically it.